Ki and welcome KFP, welcome to my kitchen, welcome to the video. My name is Saradin, or Jerarar, and today we're going to teach you guys how to make KFP's brand new, never before seen item. A delicious, deep-fried chicken thigh sandwich on an artisan bun, served with ginger mayonnaise. But before we get started, I'd like to mention that the description for all of these recipes is down in the description of the video, translated into English, German, Japanese, and Korean, so that all of our global locations will be on the same page when this item debuts soon. So without further ado, grab your aprons, grab your gloves, and let's get ready to cook. So as we gather our ingredients, I'd like to make a shout out real quick to a couple of KFP members who donated their thighs today to the cause. Sora's Keyblade, Salubrious Beats, Dominik K, Looking for the Top, Kakun, and Pudding. Appreciate your donations, boys. Thank you very much. They're going to go to good use today.
To make the buttermilk coating for the chicken, you'll need 1 cup of buttermilk, and you'll scramble in 2 eggs. And then to make the flour coating, you'll need 1.5 cups of cornstarch and 1/2 cup of self-rising flour. Make sure to whisk your eggs before you add in the buttermilk so it becomes a nice and even mix. A fork is fine for beating eggs if you don't have a spare whisk around. And then after we've mixed the flour here, notice I made a bit of a mess there, you'll want to add in about 7 or 8 tablespoons of the mix, and you'll whisk it together. And what this will do is basically allow the flour mix to clump a bit and make the really little crispy clumps that we all know and love on fried chicken. You don't want to add too much though and make it like a batter. Then we'll go over here to the oil. You'll want to fill your pan enough so that the chicken can be at least halfway submerged, so it'll depend on your pan size, but here I use about 2/3 of a container of vegetable oil. And then you'll set this to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and while that oil's heating up, we'll go ahead and make the ginger mayonnaise here. We'll need 1 tablespoon of ginger paste, although freshly ground ginger is fine too. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, and you're going to mix all of this into 1/2 cup of regular mayonnaise. Now that our oil's heated up, we'll go ahead and start breading the chicken. You'll want to dunk it in the buttermilk first, get a nice even coating, get every nook and cranny. And then you'll just set it right into the mix, flip it around a bit. You're also fine to do this with your bare hands if you wish, although it does get very sticky after a while, so you'll need to wash frequently. Once your chicken is breaded, you'll take it over to the oil, and you want to make sure that the oil has reached between 350 and 400 degrees Fahrenheit before dunking in the oil. Go ahead and set it in. Now, it depends on what your temperature is, and it depends on how thick your chicken is, but you should need to cook them on each side between 3 and 5 minutes apiece. But as always, you always want to make sure that the internal temperature has reached at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit for it to be food safe. Anything lower than this and you're risking some nasty contamination. Within 200 degrees Fahrenheit is still a nice juicy piece of chicken, so don't feel afraid to let it go a little higher. And you'll notice I've got a plate over there with some paper towels on it to receive the chicken once it's done cooking. Make sure that when you do test the temperature of the chicken that you're hitting it in the thickest spot of the chicken, because if the thickest spot is reaching temperature, then the thinner spots will surely be hitting temperature as well. Remember folks, safety first. Now that the chicken's cooked, we'll go ahead and prep our buns here. Make sure to put a liberal amount of the ginger mayonnaise on it, the more the merrier. I've chosen artisan onion rolls for these sandwiches today. And of course we'll add a little bit of sweet pickle there to sweeten up the sandwich and add a little bit of depth of flavor. All you gotta do now is drop the chicken right on there, fold it over, and make sure you add your KFP fries.
Now let's stop for a second. I know what you're going to say. Sheridan, Jerorar, whatever your name is, you clown. Doesn't every fast food restaurant out there have a sandwich like this? Well, you're absolutely right, they do. But we at KFP are not going to simply follow the competition. When Tenchou started KFP, she prided herself on having the most diverse sauce selection in the entire fast food industry. And we're going to keep that tradition alive today by introducing two brand new, never before seen sauces that complement these sandwiches wonderfully. The first is a Korean-inspired, spicy, tangy gochujang sauce with red pepper flakes that's going to give the chicken a beautiful red color. And the second, for those who don't like spicy, Tenchou included, is an American-style honey barbecue sauce. And I'm going to show you how to make both of those right now.
Okay, and to make the gochujang sauce, you'll need a mixing bowl and 6 tablespoons of gochujang paste, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, and 3 to 4 tablespoons of red pepper flakes. However, you can add more if you want extra spice. We're going to start with the brown sugar here since we're going to need to kind of mash it up and make it easier to mix. Make sure when you're adding all of these ingredients, you're doing it in a medium-sized steel mixing bowl, as we'll need to add the chicken to it and toss it around to get the chicken evenly coated. You'll also notice I'm eyeballing the tablespoons here. A little extra gochujang isn't going to hurt anything, and it isn't going to add that much extra spice, so feel free to eyeball it like I did. And now we're adding our chicken. Go ahead and flip it around with the tongs, but at the end you're going to want to kind of toss it around a bit. Again, this is why the mixing bowl is very helpful, to make sure that chicken is evenly coated. Okay, and for the barbecue sauce, we'll go ahead and grab another large mixing bowl, and we'll need 1 cup of ketchup, a 1/4 cup of honey, a 1/4 cup of molasses, and 1 tablespoon each of salt, pepper, paprika, cayenne pepper, powdered smoke, and chicken seasoning.
Well, there you have it. The sandwiches are done along with delicious fries, but what meal isn't complete without a delicious drink to go with it? When this promotion launches across the globe, we'll also be introducing a brand new creamy Oreo shake to the menu, a Kiara favorite, and I'm going to show you how to make that at home right now.
You'll start with 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream. If you want to make a chocolate Oreo shake or a mint Oreo shake at home, you can use those flavors of ice cream as well, but for the promotion we'll be using vanilla. Once you've got those, add 3/4 of a cup of milk and 8 to 10 Oreos. I use the thin Oreos here because you get more cookie out of them. Make sure to pulse blend them for a little bit, just to break up the big chunks, and then set them to either a shake setting or a liquefy setting until the mixture is nice and creamy and smooth, just like a drink should be. Once you've got it to the right level of creaminess, go ahead and give it a quick whisk just to check it. Make sure there's no clumps left. And then go ahead and pour it into a glass with a straw. And make sure you top them off with 2 Oreos. And there you have it.
Well, there you have it. You now have the tips and tools necessary to make KFP's brand new menu item a complete success. Make sure you study hard and work harder, because this item is coming to a location near you very soon. As always, thank you for coming to the video. Thank you for being a member of KFP. Thank you for supporting Kiara. And as always, #woke, #yoke. KFP is not a cult, and viva la Kiara. Thank you, auf Wiedersehen, and good luck out there, KFP.